I think Roundabout is.
No, this is not. This is like the Gilbert and Sullivan
Yeah, the
players
Pirates
or whatever they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna get tickets.
Yeah, I would go see that.
I love Pirates.
Yeah, this is part of my dad's, like educational plan for
Got it.
small people. I too saw Gilbert and Sullivan, but I feel like we saw that at like Symphony Space more than anything else.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're all going.
So, all right, then
We're gonna leave at 12, get the kids, go to the city.
sounds good to me. Oh, quick question.
Yeah.
Got an email from Lori. They have, the trout quintet that we're doing for Chamber Music Concert requires a second violin portrait, which a friend of hers was doing it. She told a friend that there would be no money in it, but then she was asking me whether, is that really true? Could you come up with any money for that? That's what I said.
You're gonna send me something from Diane.
I figured, I asked her what would be reasonable.
Fine.
That's all I figured. I'll start playing a little.
So if you're ooh, that's so loud. Shane, can you make me less loud? We're having some mysterious sound things that we don't understand. There's like gremlins thank you. That was a lot of me. It's already a lot. Anyway, we're on bracketed page 648, and if you're in a blue chair, what I was trying to say is your book should be under your chair. And if you don't have a book under your chair, then the person before you was not nice and didn't leave you a book there, but our very nice ushers, the Gerber family, will be very happy to get you a book if you need a book. And we are in the middle of 648. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy 2025. Here we are. We can hope for a better year together. But we're starting our year off so sweetly here at Barnard Temple, in basically the sweetest way that could be, because our very young and old, longtime friend, not like old friend, but, Mia's here. And Mia grew up here. I know you don't know Mia from growing up, because you weren't growing up here when Mia was growing up here, but Mia did grow up here, and she does live in Ridgewood. And sort of grew up on this bima, and, well, they'll tell you more about themselves when they speak in a little bit, but it's just such joy to be leading services with you tonight, Mia. So thanks for being home on vacation right now and saying yes to doing this, because this is our sweet treat for the new year. So we are on bracketed pages 138 and 139, and we hope, as always, that you will sing with us as we welcome Shabbat. Or in spirit, and we face the entrance to our sanctuary or our sacred place wherever you are joining us. Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gam Besimcha. Down, take a moment to greet your neighbors. Try to say hello to somebody you don't already know and make a new friend. said some hellos, you can take a seat. Page 142 is where you'll find the words for Shalom Aleichem, this part of our Kabbalat Shabbat liturgy that helps us to welcome Shabbat and kind of settle into this gift of time, which is meant to be for us something different than the way we are the rest of the week. And just a note, if you're not as familiar, this melody for Shalom Aleichem was written by Debbie Friedman, and she changed the first word of the last verse. So if you look in the middle of 142, this poem is about the ministering angels and sort of welcoming the ministering angels and making space for the ministering angels to sort of be with us on Shabbat. And the traditional last word here wishes the angels a good exit, but Debbie invites us instead to wish them a good return. So when we get there, rather than singing Tzeitchem, we're going to sing Shuvchem, and I'll remind you, but you'll hear the word change if you're accustomed to these words.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech
page 120. To join me on the bima as we light our Shabbat candles this evening, I invite up Marla and Roy Klein. Maya, why don't you join us with your prayer book? Before Maya leads us in Kiddush, we are going to, reconvene with this very familiar ritual we do each week before we offer Kiddush, which are our blessings, right? We use the juice in this cup to help sanctify, to lift up Shabbat, and we imagine that our blessings make that celebration of Shabbat even sweeter and even more elevated. So, what's good, people? Yeah, Jana. Yeah, your daughter's becoming bat mitzvah this Shabbat. That is good. Totally. Awesome. Susan. You had a week's vacation in Florida. With son number, all of Susan's family members have numbers. So this is with son number 1 in his family. And grandson number 4, exactly. So everyone's got a number. It does not mean it's not where you love her on the rank. It's just order. Yeah, it's order. Just keeps things in order. Good. What else is good? Yeah. Family and no snow. Okay, cool. I'll give you that because you want everyone to be able to be here. Right, great. Abby.
I just came back from a good vacation.
Great. Abby just returned from a good vacation. Love that. Larry.
Elizabeth is meeting grandchild 1 and grandchild 2 out of grandchild 1 and 2.
Elizabeth's meeting all the grandchildren. Yes, that's very exciting. Cool. This side of the room is very quiet. This side of the room. Linda. We made it to 2025, such as we did. It seems that's the case. Lindsay. We had vacation in Florida. Alligators. Cool. I didn't go to Florida. But I stayed here, which I'm not sad about. Okay. Let's see. Joanne says that she is grateful that everybody are able to help her welcome Shabbat, but she may have been speaking to you, Mia, so I'm not sure. You or everybody. So
I'll take it.
yeah, that's true. Any other blessings? Good stuff from the week or 2 weeks, or stuff you're feeling hopeful or about? Eileen? Good. Hanukkah with grandchildren, yeah, and family. Elizabeth? Yeah, Ridgewood's really showing up tonight. Yeah, it's a lot of Ridgewood in this sanctuary right now. And having Mia here. Yeah, that's definitely true. Lewis.
It's good to see a young lady who I used to drive around at a very young age.
A young lady. Yeah. So there's like a lot of things grown-ups say to you at your bat mitzvah weekend that you just have to smile and say thank you to. Yeah. Abby's giggling over there. Okay, Aviva adds that her granddaughter Avery turned 4 years old, and she was able to spend the first night of Hanukkah with her daughter and son-in-law and Avery in Pennsylvania. Good. Okay, so maybe there are blessings that you didn't share, and you'll share them in a little bit at your table while you nosh some food after services. But I'll remind you that this exercise is, it's both so that we can know what's going on in each other's lives, but also it's a really good reminder each week to be able to pinpoint one thing that we could say this is a blessing, or this is a good thing, or this is like a good enough thing that happened in the week, right? Just to sort of focus in. Okay, Miss Maya. These are gifts from the Barner Temple Men's Club and Sisterhood. There is a Chanukiah, which you now have to wait a lot of weeks to use, and a Kiddush cup, which you can use next week. We give you these gifts when you become bat mitzvah because we want to help start your ritual item collection and library early. We want to give you things we know you already know how to use, right? We know that you will use your menorah to bring light in dark times, and we hope that when you use your Kiddush cup, maybe even you'll keep this tradition with you of inviting other people to use this moment to share blessings. When you use it on Shabbat or holidays or one day like weddings and baby namings, all these places that these items can travel with us. And you'll always remember this Shabbat, and you'll always remember your connection to Barnert and how much we are proud of you. Okay, so those are from the leadership of the synagogue. And now I will just say to you, before you lead us in Kiddush, I know, that getting to know Maya as we got ready for this bat mitzvah was both an awesome experience because you are unpretentious and kind and non-judgmental, but also because you have a particular way of seeing the world that is a choice I think you have made to find goodness and to see goodness in people and to just figure out how to lift that up, right? And to not focus on struggle and to not focus on differences, but to see how all of that actually makes us more creative and allows us to do things with our very cool brains that are different from each other and that actually makes all of us better because we learn from each other. And we're so proud of you. And you have worked so hard for this, and it's going to feel effortless because of all of the work that you've done to get here, and can't wait to celebrate with you tomorrow. So Maya's going to lead us in Kiddush, which is on page 123. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodshon, be'ahava uvatzon, hin lanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom tehila lemikraye kodesh zeher letziyat mitzvayim kivanu v'harta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahavat uvratzon hin haltanu Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
We've reached the time of year where nobody needs to drink from cups that they're not their cups, and you can smell your grape juice, and it checks the box. And good job. You can go back to your seat. We remain standing, bracketed page 146.
Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, lai, lai,
invite you just to take a deep breath for Shabbat. Page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Page 154, please be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, vedibarta bam, veshivtecha beveitecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leod al yadecha, vehayu letotafot beineinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot lachem le'elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Page 159. We offer these aspirational words before we sing our words celebrating freedom. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. A song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace, page 158. Page 160. people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment lasting forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Page 164, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Ima'od U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Le'Hoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Tzomech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bal Gevurot Umidom Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua B'ne'eman Atah L'chachayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yehalelucha Selah Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue privately through pages 180 and 181. You may do so seated or standing, as is your custom. page 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon lechocha shalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechocha shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Hi. Shabbat Shalom. I am so happy to be back at Barnard. As many of you know, I now call New Orleans home, but I am thrilled to be here. I always make an effort to stop by Barnard when I am up north, and I'm very happy to be here tonight. I'm very happy to see lots of familiar faces. I'm so excited to chat with you at potluck, and I'm excited to be meeting some of you for the first time. So thank you all for coming. So for those of you who don't know me, I grew up at Barnard really from the moment my feet touched the floor to high school and college graduations. I traveled through preschool, Sunday school, Hebrew school, my bar mitzvah, I was a madracha, I completed confirmation, I did it all. And through the years, I continually learned about Tikkun Olam, and it was the one lesson that I really, truly brought to heart. Barnard taught me about why we should leave the world a better place than when we found it, but Barnard also showed me how we can make the world a better place and how we can start that work. So throughout my teenage years, I was also really involved in Barty, Barnard's youth group. And Midnight Run is an event that takes place annually. Barty members collect and organize warm clothes and hygiene products to hand out to unhoused folks on the streets of New York City during a cold winter's night. Side note, this year's Midnight Run is tomorrow. True. So if you haven't gone through your closet and you might have a couple extra coats or scarves or hats laying around, just a side note. And when I got involved with my first Midnight Run, I remember feeling a little bit of hesitation, as a lot of us do when we're interacting with a new population that we're not familiar with, we haven't had experience with. And I was nervous. I was really unsure how my interactions with this group of unhoused people was gonna go. I faced the discomfort, and I got on the bus with all of my Barty friends and some chaperones, and we drove into the city for a night that was really a clear stepping stone on a path towards my future. The folks that I spoke to that night were genuine, warm, inquisitive, and immensely grateful. I learned about their lives and started to understand that although they were unhoused, each person was an individual who had loved and lost, just like me. And from that night onward, I participated in a midnight run every year I was involved with Barty. Following that, I started working at Kumac, which was another Barnert-involved organization, and they provide food to the families of Patterson. And I was learning that despite the different circumstances that people are in and the different labels that they may be assigned, we are all, in short, human and all deserving of love. We are all worthy of care, understanding, love, and I saw in action what the Torah means when each of us is described as we are being created, B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of holiness. Following my graduation from college, I moved to New Orleans as a new Avodah Jewish Service Corps member. I found out about Avodah from another Barnert friend, actually Julia Luzides. Mrs. Luzides is here with us tonight. And Julia called me and said, you would love it. She was finishing her year and she felt really strongly that I would find the work and New Orleans to be really meaningful. Avodah, in short, connects young adults ages 21 through 26 with direct service placements in 4 cities across the country, New Orleans being one of them. And I specifically sought out New Orleans because of one of the placements called the First 72 Plus. The First 72 Plus was founded 10 years ago by 6 formerly incarcerated men. Each of the founders returned home after serving various lengths of sentences in prison and realized there was really no support for them once they returned. They started providing the support themselves and helping those that they had left behind by picking them up at the gates of the state penitentiary, buying them their first meal, as well as providing them a place to sleep, helping them find a job, things that really provided a safety net. The organization's motto is us helping us. A lot of the team members who work there are either formerly incarcerated or have had a parent who is incarcerated. And when I say incarcerated, that means either in jail or prison. So I eventually matched with the First 72 Plus as my placement and learned what I would be doing. And I was met with a variety of responses. Some of them were, oh, that's amazing. We need more people doing that kind of work. And some of the other responses were, oh, but you'll be working with criminals and convicts. Aren't you worried about your safety? And similar to Midnight Run, I was not without hesitation. I understood the gravity of the work and why it was needed, but I also was unsure what I was going to be walking into. Similar to Midnight Run, I was proven wrong. Each person who walks through the doors of our office was relieved that we were there to help, and more so relieved that it was a place that was free of judgment. We would not judge them based on their charge, the amount of times they had been incarcerated, their substance use, their mental health, or their lack of relationship with their families. After an emotionally intense day at work, I would return home to my communal Jewish home, happy to welcome Shabbat with home-cooked eggplant parmesan, a challah from the New Orleans Jewish deli, kosher Cajun, and meet the eyes of my roommates as we sang prayers. My Judaism has always served as a source of comfort and familiarity for me, and even in the midst of learning new Reconstructionist melodies or learning how to follow the rules of our kosher kitchen, I felt grounded in my Jewish home. It also refueled me after hard days at work. To say that I left the office each day feeling triumphant and uplifted was far from the truth. I often returned home exhausted and leaned heavily on my roommates as we discussed the daily struggles of social justice work. And it always brought me back to Tikkun Olam and reminded me that while I have a choice to place myself in that world, others are living in it, and it is a privilege to choose that every day. I've been working at the First 72 for about a month. I was helping clients obtain documentation that the departments of corrections typically lost, like a birth certificate, an ID, a social security card, making it hard to obtain a job without those documents. And I was also helping them apply for public benefits, like food stamps, Medicaid, disability, other things you need to get by when you come home without a job. I received an email from a client that I had particularly enjoyed chatting with that day, and his email read, "Dear Miss Mia, I just wanted to say thank you for all the hard work you put into my community, knowing that you don't have to." Fast forward a year and a half, and I have been hired full-time at the First 72. In recent weeks, I've actually stepped into the role as Director of Client Services, so I oversee our 2 transitional housing units that house 13 formerly incarcerated men coming home from prison. I manage our client services team, and I lead our pre-release team as well, so I speak at parole board hearings and help men generate reentry plans to present to the board. In short, my world has opened up immensely in the last year and a half. My first few weeks in the South, I was really taken aback at how friendly everyone was. They could tell I was from the North. I was really thrown off by people saying hello to me on the street. I now feel less apprehensive and judgmental in a lot of aspects of my daily life. I strike up conversations on the streetcar with the woman next to me and learn that her oldest son is in jail. I write down my information so he knows to come to First 72 upon his release. I knit hats with my roommate that are handed out to unhoused members of our community in colder months. I spend my spare time organizing NOLA to Angola, a 3-day, 170-mile bike ride from New Orleans to the state penitentiary, which raises funds to provide free bus rides for family members to visit their incarcerated loved ones. I buy the unhoused person outside of CVS a cold water in the sweltering August heat, because I know he deserves humanity just as much as I do. While social justice may not be everyone's passion and career path like mine, I believe that everyone can find a little time every year to learn more about it and start to get involved. And good for you, it's the new year, so you can start right now. And that can mean volunteering at Kumac on a Saturday as a family, helping clients shop in the food pantry, or donating a little bit of money to an organization that you feel strongly about. Might I suggest the First 72? My first steps were into a youth group here at Barnard, and then ultimately onto a bus headed into New York in the middle of the night. And each of those required bravery and openness to new friends and new experiences, and a curiosity about what it would mean for me to live Jewishly. As we start the new year, my hope is that you will approach this community and justice opportunities with bravery, curiosity, and openness, and this is how we begin to create change for ourselves and our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mia. Page 371, in the middle of the page, we offer this prayer for healing, and we would anyway, but particularly this week as we will remember, we'll think about our loved ones who are in need of healing of body or of spirit. We also offer our prayers for the city of New Orleans, and in particular, those who were physically injured in the attack on New Year's Eve, and all of the surrounding ripples of community that are showing up to live through that trauma and to support their loved ones. In the middle of 371. To offer the name aloud of anyone you are praying for this evening, I invite you to share their name as my eyes meet yours. Those names, we add Layla Balestra, Debbie Becker, Susie Bernardo, Kenny Breslow, Suzanne Broder, Pete Brody, Eileen Chanksit, Lois Colin, Ori David, Monica DeRider, Becky Dugal, Irina Dukan, Gail Eisen, Jerry Fagan, Amy Goldman, Susan Goodstadt-Levin, Jill Gordon, Chana Batmeir Vichana, Gary Harrison, Judy Jerome, Robert Kaiserman, James Kaufman, Risa Kaufman, Barry Kessler, Isaac Klein, Joshua Kravitz, Rabbi Michael Kuskin, David Lazarus, Larry Levine, Beverly Lewis, Ruth Liebesman, Mo Liss, Ron Lynn, Janine Mascari, Faina Menzul, Andrea Pagan, Thelma Planchak, Elliot Richmond, Randy Ringler, Irene Rudzowitz, Dan Rudlinger, Loretta Rutlinger, Mindy Schwartz, Joanne Siegel, Julie Seidman, Beth Silverman, Buddy Silverman, Josephine Soul, Bob Sonnenklar, Mary Pat Sullivan, Erica Summers, Joel Schwartzberg, Martin Tanzer, Glauber Teixeira, Rita Torren, Cesar Geraldo Venencia, Zila dos Santos, Siona Wartenberg, Joyce Weinberg, Stephen Weinberg, Teddy Wool, Michael Wolf, Bill Wolfson, and Bobby Yeshin.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Page 586, the lower half of the page. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'adit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechat ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591, please be seated. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד ושמו אחד. Page 598. We remember your loved ones whose yahrzeit fall on this Shabbat and those who've died in more recent days. This week we remember the yahrzeits of Peggy Adler, Robert Allenson, Sylvia Atkins, Kitty Bernstein, Lily Blumberg, Annabelle Brody, Samuel Chalfin, Charlotte Clear, Richard H. Cowlin, Stephen Edelman, Charles Falk, Ruth Farrell, Rachel Siegel-Feder, Abraham Fellerman, Paul Freemark, Lillian Haubenstock, Stephen Katz, Sheldon Kessler, Irving Klein, Arthur J. Klein, and Florence Klein, Paul Kramer, Sadie Shavik-Karinsky, Sue Lampert, Montana Levy, Theodore Lazon, Rona Lieberman, Meyer Lobsenz, Wallace Mannheimer, Jacob Pillar, Judith Rogan, Gabe Sanders, Lee Shine, Sophie Schoen. Where did the Buckweitzes go? There you are. Paula Schleimer, Edward M. Schatz, Leonard Schwartz, Laura Scher, Louisa Simon, Barry Soffin, Rose Steinberg, Celia Stern, Florence Turner, Bertha Weil, Edmund Weinstein, James Wallenberg, and Eileen Zelch. During this period of Shloshim, we remember Myra Jones Silverman. This week we offer Kaddish formally for the first time for Janice E. Ryder Martin, who was Arnie Ryder's sister, and for Judy Becker, Dan Newberger's mom. And we don't formally offer Kaddish yet, but I'll let you know that earlier today, Rolf Klein's mom, Ingrid Klein, died, and they're still figuring out arrangements, but we'll let you know about how you can support them, but still, of course, offer our condolences to Rolf and Sue and Jacob and to Danny, and it's not a secret, so if you know the Kleins and you didn't know, you can call them and check in also. In our community this week, as I imagine most communities are this week, we hold close the names of the 15, well, we don't know all the names yet, but the 15 people who were killed in New Orleans this week, and I invite you to share the names of anybody else you are remembering on this Shabbat if you're observing a yard site or remembering a loved one. If you are observing a yard site this Shabbat or are in a more recent period of mourning, I invite you to rise first. We do this so that we can see who the mourners are in our communities, right? So that we know sort of who's around us and we can say, tell me about who you're remembering, or, what's something special that is still part of how you live that they gave you. And we say to you, Zichronam Livracha, may the memories of your beloveds continue to become blessings as you weave their legacies into the way that you live. And we rise together on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mivarach le'alam u'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all people everywhere. And we say together, amen. A couple of quick announcements, if you will indulge me. Tomorrow morning, many of us will be back here to celebrate the bat mitzvah of Maya Catcher and Shabbat morning services. There's in-person Torah study tomorrow also at 9:30. In one of the classrooms upstairs. Hope you'll join us for one of those two pieces. A couple of upcoming adult opportunities I just want to mention. Next Sunday at 11:30, we are bringing back Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh was a monthly gathering for women or women-identified people who met at Sarah Loesch's house, and it's a monthly opportunity to be together and eat some food and study. And so there's going to be information in the Sunday email. If you used to go, you should go. If you didn't used to go, but you're curious and you want to go, you should go. So that's starting again. It'll be monthly. You can talk to Sarah, who is right there, if you have questions about it after services. In a month-ish, on February 7th, the next first Friday is actually Shabbat Shira. It's our special Shabbat during the year where we celebrate music in particular because of the Torah portion that's assigned to that Shabbat. And we are bringing back, now that we're finally back in our space, our custom of bringing exciting Jewish musicians to join us for services. So Nefesh Mountain, who we actually were with during COVID once because they were supposed to be here and then, COVID. And they are this, I'm going to tell you what they are, and if you don't know them, you're going to think this doesn't sound cool, but I'm telling you they are so cool. They're this Jewish bluegrass group, and they do a lot of music touring, but they also do a lot of Jewish liturgy and service music, and it is going to be awesome. So you definitely want to be here. And it's 4th grade Siddur Shabbat, so it's always such a sweet, sweet evening. So some of you have no choice but to be here. I'm in that group also, but it's cool. I promise it's going to be awesome. Okay. February 1st and 21st, Rabbi Joel Safin is going to be teaching 2 special Torah study mornings, so you'll see more information about that. And then the last thing I just want to let you start thinking about noticing in our emails, again in about a month, we're running a 4-class series this year called Sinai and Synapses, which is being taught by my colleague, Rabbi Jeff Middleman, who is a rabbi, obviously, whose expertise and specialization is in the intersection of religion and science. Not that one should disprove the other. That's obviously, that would be boring. Why would you want to come to that class? He's so smart and such an interesting, cool person to learn with. They're on Sunday mornings, and they begin on February 9th, and there's 4 almost consecutive, except for the President's Weekend break mornings. So I really highly recommend, you want to take these classes with him. He's worth learning with. It's going to be cool. And so keep your eye out for that. Good? Boy, I got to give you a lot of announcements today. Good job listening. So when we're finished, which is not yet, first we're going to do motzi and then sing Oseh Shalom, we'll head out into the social hall for some food. And I just want to thank Mia for sharing her story and her voice and her presence and your time, which is precious while you're home visiting family. So Brett and Ricky, thanks for sharing. You just come all the time whenever you're home visiting. And if you also are a parent of college or post-college age kids, I'm this excited to talk to all of them. So this is Mia is very special, and this is infinite, right? So I want to see all of your people when they come. And they don't have to lead services unless they really want to, but that's not the expectation. I'll just hug people too if they're comfortable with that.
I would also say if you have a soon-to-be college graduate who might
Yes.
be interested in
Good
Avodah, please come chat with me. I'm happy to talk with them on the phone. I do it a lot. I had a great experience. I would love for other young Jews to also experience it.
Mia, do you have to be about to graduate from college, or can you be
You can do it post-grad.
Yeah, that's what
you
it
can do
sounded
it until
like.
you're 26.
Yeah, that's practically middle age.
And you don't have to want to go into nonprofit work. You
Kidding.
can. They want you to be lawyers and doctors and all these things with the social justice mindset. So if they are into a year of service, come talk to me.
Yeah, cool. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom.